Okay, so are you ready to be manager? Yes. So we should be, what do you call this? We should imply, yeah, we should imply innovation in our organization. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching and listening. Bye. Good day. My name is Joseph, and I'll be talking about one of the emerging issues on organizational theory and behavior, such as organizing of innovation. But before we start our lesson for today, let's define what innovation means and how this word signify with the organization. So, what is innovation? It is an application of new ideas or technologies to something useful or effective. It is also a new process of produce new products or services or processes of upgrading the existing products or services to the next level. Okay, so suffice it to say, we're just going to improve our previous products or services to be more attractive, to be more engaging, more informational, and whatsoever. Okay, so we have four types of innovation according to Christensen. The first type is sustaining or incremental innovation. So, what is that? It is about exploring opportunities that build on top of a company's existing businesses model to strengthen it and keep it alive. So, typical examples of sustaining innovation are new products and services, new distribution channels, new support, and production technologies, or geographical expansions. Okay, incremental innovation can be perceived as continuous innovation. It builds on existing knowledge of technology to continuously improve on the existing product in the minority and targeted existing markets. Okay, so we have two types of incremental innovation. So we have the evolutionary and we have the revolutionary. Okay, so when we say evolutionary, it improves a product or service in an existing market in ways that customers are expecting. So suffice it to say again, so when we say evolutionary, we just have to modify our product to be better, to be better. So for example, from iPhone 4 to iPhone 5. So the specifications of iPhone 4, for example, iPhone 4 has 100 gigabytes storage and it has 4 megapixel camera and it doesn't have front camera. So if an innovator will think of a way to be more demanding, so I will name our new product iPhone 5, and iPhone 5 has better specifications than um, to iPhone 4. So from 4 megapixel cameras and does not have front cameras to 8 megapixels and it has front cameras, and from 100 gigabyte storage to 500 gigabyte storage. So that is evolutionary incremental innovation. So we have the second type of incremental innovation, which is revolutionary, which can also be included in the second type of innovation, which is the radical innovation. So let's define revolutionary first. It is unexpected, but nevertheless does not affect existing market. So we just have to jump from one product to another product, and that is somewhat related to the previous product. Okay, so the previous product can be archaic, but I cannot say that the previous product cannot be, cannot be sold, because sometimes um, you know the the previous technologies can also be famous. I will give you an example from telephone to mobile phone. So telephone as we all know, it is a device that can transmit and receive messages or sound waves from one device to another device. But the disadvantages of using telephone, it cannot be moved because telephones are not mobile. Okay, so innovators thought of a new device that can be used, yeah, to communicate while moving around. So they formulated mobile phones. So I mean, the function of mobile phones is to communicate to other people, and you can go everywhere using that. Unlike telephone, you just have to use telephone in a particular place, right? So which would you prefer, telephone or mobile phone? I'd rather choose mobile phone because um, I did not stay at home every day. But telephone is not archaic because telephone can also be used today, like hotlines or fax or whatsoever, like that. So a revolutionary incremental innovation can also be included in radical innovation. It will depend upon the situation. So radical innovation is the opposite concept of incremental innovation. This one applied either new technology or combine new with existing technologies, which targets new markets to build new products. Okay, so let's go back to our example. Mostly, the company used radical innovation to create short-term competitive advantages and then apply incremental innovation to sustain its potential gains. Yeah, let's go back to our example from telephone to mobile phone. So when mobile phone is incremental, since we modify telephone and we improve that, therefore telephone is radical. Just like that. Okay? So incremental and radical are opposites. Okay? The third type of innovation is architectural innovation. So architectural innovation is a redesigned method to move products or services into a new market, still based on existing knowledge of core technology. So the best example for this is Canon and Xerox. Okay, so for clarification, Xerox is not a term to photocopy a file or a document because Xerox is the name of the company who made photocopy machine. Okay, so once again, Canon and Xerox are rivals or main competitors to each other. Okay, so Canon can win over Xerox. Why? Because of its physical transformation in photocopies machine. What Xerox offered is a big, giant copying machine that requires particular space in large-sized businesses. Whereas, on the other side, Canon redesigned huge photocopiers into desktop photocopiers that still contain existing compact concepts of functions. So which would you prefer, the big photocopy machine or the small photocopy machine? I'd rather choose small because I can move that machine to one place to another easily, right? Unlike to the Xerox. So architectural innovation is more like in a physical features of a product. Okay, so the more accessible or more convenient product physically, the more it is engaging, demanding, like that. Okay, and the fourth type of innovation is disruptive innovation. So what is it? Disruptive innovation is a new product that disrupts the existing market with the help of new technologies. It often starts at low demanding customers with a good enough product performance. So I will give you the best example for this. So do you know the film camera? So I'll give you the company who made film camera. So film camera is just like camera that, when you capture an image, so it has a printer with it, and then you just have to, what do you call this? In the Tagalog term, paypay. Kailangan mo siyang paypayin to to create image. Yung parang hintay mo lang siya na magkaroon ng image, just like that. So it is using ink or something to print that image from the camera. So Kodak is a company who made film camera. Okay, so Kodak died as a result of the disruption of a digital camera. There are fewer users due to the fewer photo can be taken and the high cost of printing per shot. 'Di ba? Kapag ginamit natin yung film camera, isang take lang and then we just have to wait for a minute para mag-print po ng camera. And then ayun, and then limited lang po yung ating photo paper, and then you just have to wait another minute, then papaypayan mo siya para magkaroon ng image doon sa paper. Whereas digital camera offers more photo taken and pictures can be viewed and edited more than once. Yeah, kasi for example sa mobile phone, 'di ba? Kapag nag-take tayo ng pictures, pwede po natin siyang palitan ng filter, pwede po natin siyang lagyan ng stickers and whatsoever, 'di ba? Without add-up cost. Unlike po dun sa film camera, kunyari may mali, no, against the light, magte-take ka uli. So another ink na naman 'yon, saka another photo paper, and that is very expensive, right? When it comes to the user. So for example, Sony, Nikon, and Canon can utilize new technology to get a job done of customer value in taking quick photo and post on social media rather than waiting for a week to get a picture and viewed once, then stored in the boxes. So that is disruptive innovation. So, medyo brutal lang po itong disruptive innovation kasi ang purpose po talaga niya is to disrupt the previous product or services. And then, they will think of a new product na para matalo po talaga ng tuluyan yung previous product. Like film camera and digital camera. We all know, I believe that, 98 to 99% of people are using digital camera. Right? Okay. So, what is disruptive innovation? Okay? Disruption is a process, not a product or service that occurs from a nascent to the mainstream. Yes, kasi ang purpose po talaga ng new product, yung innovated product, is para matanggal nyo po yung previous product or services doon sa mainstream ng ating economy. Ayon. Yan, for example, film camera nga. So, yung mga company na nag-make po ng digital camera is naging successful po sila sa pagtanggal po ng film camera because film camera is not being used here in the world. Okay, so it is originated in low and less demanding customers or new markets where non-existing footholds. Okay, and the new firms don't catch on with mainstream customers until quality catches up with their standards. So it is self-explanatory. And then the next one, success is not a requirement and some business can be disruptive but fail. Yan, andali lang po intindihin, di ba? And the new firm's business model differs significantly from incumbent. Okay, so the key is to understand where is your business standing and what is customer value, and so as to build strong strategies and gain competitive advantages ahead others through utilizing our internal and external resources. Now, we're going to talk about organizing for innovation, which is how the structure and the culture of the firm shapes the way it innovates. An organization's size, structure, and culture all influence the way it innovates. The key dimensions of structure that we'll discuss here include size, centralization, formalization, standardization, mechanistic versus organic, and tightly or loosely coupled with respect to size. Large firms usually have larger budgets and reap economies of scale and learning in their R&D or research and development activities. However, while small firms usually have smaller budgets, they may also spend more carefully and and employee incentives may be more tightly aligned to innovation outcomes. Centralization refers to the degree to which power and control are kept at the top levels of the corporation. Centralization can also refer to where R&D or research and development takes place. For example, research and development could be decentralized out into all the divisions of the firm, or research and development could be centralized at the corporate headquarters. Decentralized research and development takes advantage of local knowledge of a product or geographic market. Centralized research and development better enables corporate wide initiatives and takes advantage of economies of scale some firms to do both. Now, let's talk about formalization and standardization. Formalization and standardization often go together. Formalization is the degree to which firms use roles and procedures to structure the behavior of employees, and then standardization is the degree to which activities are performed in a uniform manner. So, formalization often enables standardization. Both are good for reliable and efficient outcomes, but not so good for innovation. We say that divisions or organizations that have high formalization and standardization have a mechanistic structure and are oriented toward operational efficiency. On the other hand, divisions or organizations that have low formalization and standardization, okay, once again, okay, on the other hand, divisions or organizations that have low formalization and standardization are said to have an organic structure and are more oriented toward free flowing adaptation. Ambidextrous firms take advantage of both mechanistic and organic structures, and for example, a firm might iterate between different structures over time, or a firm might have a mechanistic structure in part of the firm and an organic structure in other parts of the firm. Another important dimension of another firm structure is whether it's tightly or loosely coupled. In a tightly coupled firm, there are many interdependencies between the divisions, and extensive information flow and lots of coordination. In a loosely coupled organization, there are few dependencies. There may be only modest information flow between the division, and because the divisions are relatively independent, they don't require very much coordination. Okay, so kite coupling tends to be good for systemic company-wide innovation with many shared assets. Loose coupling tends to be better for modular innovations that are relatively autonomous. About 10 years ago, a cartoonist was circulating these pictures of the structures of some major technologies firms or tech firms, and you can really see these dimensions at play. Play Apple shows the heavy centralization with all decisions going up to the CEO. Facebook is totally decentralized with no signs of hierarchy whatsoever, and then Microsoft is a loosely coupled. Its divisions are at par with each other, and Google is so tightly coupled that everybody is connected to everybody else. Everybody else. Company culture also has a profound effect on innovation. Here are some tips for fostering an innovative culture. First, give people from all levels voice in the creative process. Yes, because everybody may have an idea that can improve the organization, right? You never know where innovation is going to come from, and you want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable sharing their ideas. Second, you want to eliminate norms that require consensus in decision making. It's important for people to realize it's okay to disagree and that the firm can pursue multiple paths for innovation. Number three, give people time to work on projects on their own. Lots of studies show that people need alone time to most fully explore their most creative ideas. Number four. Number four is to lower the price of failure. Take bold but intelligent risks, we have to show them that it's okay to fail sometimes and celebrate what we learn from those failures. Last but not the least, it can be valuable to cultivate a grand ambition for the organization. Some sort of idealistic goal, for example, curing disease, reducing poverty, or finding ways to utilize renewable energies, are all examples of idealistic goals that firms have pursued a grand ambition that people perceive as noble and important, can help rally people to your cause and keep employees super motivated. So, in the last part of our presentation, what are the three things you can do right now to be more innovative? So, if you want, if you were become to be a manager or the CEO of your own company, so what are the three things that you can do right now to be more innovative? Innovative. So, the first one, spend time thinking, reading, and writing alone. Okay, so we have advantages and disadvantages when we work with other people or we work alone. So when we work with groups, so we have the consensus. So you just have to listen if they agree to your ideas or not. So innovations is more like ideas, and you have to you have to agree totally to new ideas. So it may have mediocre compromise, no? So parang matatagalan yung parang ano po natin yung decision making like that because we have to consider everybody's opinion. And then when we work alone, so it is the best novel ideas that you can think of kasi you can think of your own kasi kasi naniniwala ka na yung idea na yun can really innovate your organization, di ba? Yun, basta meron lang po tayong self-belief. Yes, you can believe in yourself kasi no one, parang kung wala mang taong maniniwala sa'yo, at least, ikaw naniniwala ka. And as a manager, 'di ba? And as a CEO, alam mo na yung idea mo is really effective and innovative, 'di ba? Okay. So the second one is to cultivate a grand ambition. Okay. So 'di ba yung mga goals or yung mga new ideas na think natin to innovate, it can be intrinsically motivated. Okay, so when we say intrinsically motivated, parang yes, and since nagbubunga nga po yung innovation mo, so you have to be happy with that. Kasi kung hindi ka naman happy sa ginagawa mo, 'di ba? Parang what's the purpose of doing that? So you should be grateful, you should be happy for what you're doing, yung nag-innovate ka, 'di ba? And then the third one is to challenge every assumption. So don't assume everything is given. So ganun talaga, risk taking. So for you to innovate something, don't assume everything is given. So lahat ng no ideas mo mapagbibigyan, 'di ba? Lahat ng idea mo hindi siya always present sa mundong ito. Now, for example, kung nag-isip ka ng bizarre ideas, ganun. That you believe that can really help people talaga. And yung mga resources na gagamitin mo is not yet available or hindi talaga available sa earth. So you just have to think of a way to make that happen, diba? So that is innovation. Okay? So are you ready to be manager? Yes. So we should what do you call this? We should um we should imply innovation in our organization. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching and listening. Bye. Good day. My name is Joseph, and I'll be talking about one of the emerging issues on organizational theory and behavior, such as